48 nations, 3 countries hosting, 104 matches, and 1 golden trophy. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is literally the biggest tournament in history, and today we're ranking every single team by their chances of lifting that prize. We are breaking it down tier by tier, from the stone-cold favorites to the sides that are honestly just thrilled to be here. Welcome to The Explainer. Let's get right into it.
To do this, we're using a top-down tier list, anchored by some heavy-duty Goldman Sachs data to rank everyone's chances. We're going to cover the elite contenders, the major threats, some dangerous dark horses, the mid-tier and host nations, the long shots and debutantes, and finally, we'll give you our final verdict.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1, the elite contenders, the absolute top favorites.
Looking at the data, there is a massive statistical gap at the top. Spain is actually the mathematical favorite at 26%. Right behind them, you've got France at 19%, with the Mbappé era in full swing and just unparalleled squad depth. When your backup players would start for most other nations, you know you're in a good spot. And then, of course, the reigning champions, Argentina, sitting at 14%. They have a squad built to win even as Messi ages, though the model does slightly penalize them for that historical winner's slump.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why Spain has that massive 26% win probability. The reigning European champions have evolved way beyond traditional tiki-taka into something even more devastating. It's driven by elite scoring talent and the absolute momentum of rising superstars like Lamine Yamal pulling the strings. They have this near-perfect blend of tactical discipline and raw explosive talent that gives them a huge edge to win it all.
And then there's England. Finally, a squad that actually matches the fan expectations, right? You've got Jude Bellingham dominating the midfield, Bukayo Saka popping up everywhere. It's an incredible talent pool. But the data tells a slightly different story. The Goldman Sachs model really drags them down. Why? Well, it's a mix of historical tournament heartbreak and massive geographical headwinds. We're talking about potentially having to play Mexico in the crushing altitude of Mexico City.
Moving on to Section 2, the major threats. These are the teams chasing the elite.
This is a seriously dangerous group of teams, but they face a slightly steeper statistical mountain. Brazil sits at 8%. The Sélections are back with a settled squad, giving them legitimate hope for a 6th star. Meanwhile, the Netherlands, Germany, and Portugal are all hovering right around 5%. Honestly, Portugal is absolutely thriving right now with arguably their best squad ever in the post-Ronaldo era.
But listen, pure talent isn't everything. The bracket matters so much. The luck of the draw effect shows Germany is statistically the unluckiest team in the entire tournament. They're projected to run straight into France in the round of 16. On the flip side, the Netherlands are bringing a rock-solid unit marshaled by Virgil van Dijk, and they actually have a slightly friendlier path if they manage to win their group.
Now, before we move on, we have to talk about Norway. 150 to 1 odds, they are massive outsiders. But here's the catch. They have Erling Haaland in terrifying, historic form. On the world stage, Haaland is the kind of player who could carry a team into the knockout rounds almost entirely on his own. They are the ultimate long shots that absolutely nobody wants anywhere near their side of the bracket.
Section 3, the dangerous dark horses. The squads ready to completely shock the world.
You look at this tier, and every single team here is a total nightmare matchup. Belgium has officially passed the torch to a hungry new generation. Morocco, Africa's best, showed us in Qatar exactly what they can do on the big stage. Colombia are the Copa America runners-up, an absolute threat. And you can never, ever write off Uruguay or Croatia. Honestly, Croatia reaching a World Cup semifinal is basically routine at this point.
On to Section 4, the mid-tier and our host nations.
Playing on home soil changes everything. It gives the United States, Mexico, and Canada a massive emotional and geographical boost. I mean, just imagine Alphonso Davies running down the wing with the roaring Canadian home crowd behind him. Add in Japan, who we all saw beat Germany and Spain in 2022, plus incredibly solid squads from Senegal and Turkey. This whole tier is perfectly capable of a quarterfinal run on their day.
Group J is actually the perfect microcosm of this entire tournament. Look at this clash of styles. You've got Argentina bringing elite quality, Austria running an intense European pressing system, Algeria hitting you with rapid attacking transitions, and then tournament debutantes Jordan relying on pure, stubborn defensive discipline. It's literally 4 entirely different football and cultures colliding in one single group.
Which brings us to Section 5, the long shots and debutantes, pure underdog magic.
Because football doesn't always care about the data or the odds. Look at this quote from a Curaçao fan, Jael Monte. We're making history. As far as we're concerned, qualifying already feels like we've won the World Cup. We're champions already. The total madness and immense national pride that qualification brings to a nation making its historic debut, that is exactly what makes this tournament so incredibly special.
To really put that into perspective, Curaçao is a tiny Caribbean island with a population of just 150,000 people. In their opening match in Houston, they are going to face off against Germany, a four-time world champion with a population of over 80 million. It's the absolute ultimate David versus Goliath narrative, playing out on the biggest sporting stage on Earth.
And adding to that amazing story, Curaçao is led by the returning Dick Advocat. At 78 years old, he officially becomes the oldest manager in the entire history of the tournament. The lifetime of experience he brings to this fearless squad of Dutch-trained players is going to be absolutely fascinating to watch unfold.
Over in Group K, we've got another fantastic debutant, Uzbekistan. Led by their dynamic striker Eldor Shomurodov, the White Wolves are arriving with a true golden generation. They are looking to use this historic first appearance to firmly establish themselves as a serious emerging force in Asian football.
Section 6. The final verdict. So, what does this all mean, and who is actually lifting the trophy?
Well, while the betting markets slightly favor France right now, the Goldman Sachs ELO model predicts Spain to navigate this absolute gauntlet of a bracket and lift the trophy. The data is projecting a massive semifinal clash between France and Spain, with the Spanish side ultimately advancing to a finalissima against Argentina, where Lamine Yamal cements his superstar status.
So here is the core takeaway of this whole explainer. Expect Spain to go all the way, but expect France and an incredibly talented England squad to push them every single step of the journey. And somewhere along the line, a dark horse is going to stun us all, because that combination of elite data and unpredictable, pure underdog magic is exactly what makes this the greatest sporting event on Earth.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup. 48 teams, 3 nations hosting, 104 matches, 1 winner. So, who do you think is lifting the trophy? Drop your winner in the comments below. Smash that like button and make sure to subscribe for more explainers. See you at the World Cup!